division leader, Sylvia Elsayed. So, hi, Sylvia.
Hello, Michelle. Hello, Team Shine On. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Or happy whatever day it is if you're watching this as a replay some point later on.
Exactly. That's true.
But so today, what we're going to be talking about is using a notebook to track your parties. So, Sylvia, do you have like a name for your notebook? Like, do you just call it your party tracking notebook? Do
I
you
just
just
call
call
it
it
my
the
party
notebook?
track. Yeah, party tracking notebook. I went out in December after I watched Caroline's training and I found a nice, pretty notebook. I think I got it in Target. I don't even remember, but I wanted something that was sparkly, pretty, that I would enjoy writing in because, that's the way I am. So
And what does it say on the front?
it says, "You are capable of amazing things."
Oh
And
my
so this is
gosh.
my amazing things notebook.
I love it. I love it. So, what you're going to learn here today is the nuts and bolts of getting this notebook put together. And you're going to hear Sylvia's results and procedure that she's been using, but because of the procedure she's doing, the results that she's getting. And just as some of the things you recently saw, a highlight is Kathy's launch party, I know was tracked in this notebook, correct?
Karen's launch party was tracked. Kathy's was tracked. Rebecca's was tracked. So,
And all
then,
of those were
yes,
well over 1,000. Tell us the numbers
sure.
roughly.
So Karen's launch party was over 3,000. Rebecca's launch party was, I think, 2,700. Kathy's was somewhere around 1,600, somewhere in there. So, I mean, all really good, launch parties. It was so much easier to track. And Kathy, we did both in person and online. So it was really helpful for tracking hers as well. So definitely makes it so much easier, whether it's a launch party, whether it's something in your VIP group, or if it's a, traditional hostess party.
I love it. So if this sounds good to you, if you want to get these types of results, if you want to get shows to reach 10 orders, if you want $1,000 plus launches, if you want to know who you're missing, what's happening in your parties, comment notebook, because that is what we are going to take a look at here today. So what this is it is a system where you just get a very simple notebook where you're going to really stay on top of what's happening in each of your parties. So Sylvia, when you started 2024, you wanted to use this notebook. So
Absolutely.
you got a notebook. What was next?
So you go get your notebook, then take a look at what Caroline told us in her training. I don't follow exactly what she said, but the idea is you want to do a page for each hostess, put the date of the party, the time. Have you created the order link in your website, and have you set up the sync share and or the party in Facebook? So it's kind of a checklist to keep you on track for what you're doing. Once I have all that in there, then when's the magic phone call? Something that I did not do before was call my hostesses. I just didn't. And, listening to Caroline, I thought, I really should call them. We have such an amazing hostess program. And if you've never hosted, it is a little confusing. So I also write down the date of that magic phone call. And it is getting better results too. I'm getting parties that are 10 orders, they're over $1,000. As launch parties have come from it and more bookings. So talking to the hostess is so, so important to having a successful party. And it doesn't have to be a long conversation. It's whatever you want, but it's nice to get to know people better than just having them in your VIP group or having met them in a previous party. Most of my business is on Facebook, so a lot of my customers I have not met in person. So it is nice to get that connection of them hearing your voice, you hearing their voice, and not just, seeing your face on Facebook.
I love that so much. So that was now when Sylvia is referring to Carolyn, she's referring to the coffee chat that we did with Carolyn Davis Rowland back in December. It's pinned to the top of our group. Now that we have this part 2 with Sylvia, I'm going to make this into a new guide. But it was all of her host coaching procedures, because that's what this notebook really is for you. It's your entire hostess coaching system, because when you work closely with your hostess, that's where you get the big results for a party. And as we said the day in that training, we all have this misconception that the show is where we make our money, but that's really not the case. Host coaching is where we earn our money, and then the show is where we go to pick it up. Because if we haven't worked with the hostess, if we just think people are going to magically show up, they're going to take the volition, of their own volition, they're going to order, we're going to be sorely disappointed.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And so important, like you're saying, that magic phone call, that, a lot of times we have not met these hostesses. They booked from a Facebook party. You've never heard their voice. They've heard
Nope.
yours, but you haven't heard
Yes.
theirs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now, how do you get that phone call to even happen? Are you just what words are you saying to get them on the phone with you?
So usually it's a Facebook message, and I, just send a simple, quick message. Hi, whatever their name is. I just wanted to touch base quickly to review our hostess program and talk about inviting guests to your party. Do you have time tonight or tomorrow? Or, if it's afternoon, whatever time frame works. But I usually give them 2 choices. And then that's it. Just very short and brief. And, then we set up a time, and make sure you call them when you say you're going to call them.
Yeah. And are you
Yes.
using their regular phone number, or are you using the audio on Messenger?
I like to use the regular phone number.
Okay.
Yes.
And can you show us the top of the notebook, like the top of this page of an example show?
Sure. It's kind of messy.
That's all right. That's what
It's
this is
mine.
all
Hold on.
about.
And it's, it's coming differently. So here's one. So I have the hostess name, the date, and the time. Then I talk to her here. Group is set up. Due prize for joining VIP group, but I don't think I did that. That's something I want to start implementing, but I wrote it down. Then 8 were on the live. So another thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to get more people on the live.
Yeah.
So I've decided to not only give the hostess an extra $50 in credit, but if there are 10 people on the live, I do a prize. So she only had 8, but I think I did the prize anyway because it was so close and it was my first time doing it. So we were on the live, we did the live. After the live, the hostess had written down all the names of the people on the live. I, wrote tickets, put them in a sparkle box, came back on live 5 minutes later and picked a prize. So giving a prize the first night live, I think, is also helping to get orders. People are seeing that and they're like, oh, wow, she really does give prizes, and they are ordering and they're booking. So then I write down each person's name. One live prize, she sent me a wish list, she ordered. One wish list ordered. Ordered party on the 4th. So I put each person's name on there and what's going on with them. So that way I know if they sent me a wish list, they go in the wish list prize drawing. If they ordered, they go in the ordering prize drawing. And then if they book, they also get a prize for that. So, it's however you want to do giving away prizes, but I'm trying to emphasize the 10. So 10 guests on a live, 10 orders makes for a successful party for the hostess. And then I talk about 10 orders for the hostess, that then they get the $400 shopping spree. And I give away an impression bracelet if I get 10 orders. And again, that's totally up to you if you want to do that. But that really encourages the hostess to, try to get 10 orders and work with me. The guests then know, oh, 10 orders, I could get a $400 shopping spree. So I'm talking about the hostess program and ordering multiple times, which I didn't used to do that either. So keeping track of everything just makes it so much easier to know who was in the prize, if they've ordered, if they've sent a wish list, and what prize you're giving them. Do any of you have trouble keeping track of your prizes? I know I certainly do, right? Yes. So this morning, Saturday or Sunday is when I package up all my prizes. or orders or whatever it is. So this morning when I was doing that, I got my notebook out. I'm like, okay, Lori's party. Heather won Twizzler earrings. She was the wish list winner. Lori had a party. She got a prize. Sandy got the 10 order prize, and she got the prize for being on live. So all of these were so easy. I had put them aside, but even with doing that, I knew what party they went to. I knew where to find their address. It just made it so much easier to track. I work full time, so sometimes I get in over my head between work and Park Lane, like trying to stay organized. And this notebook is making a huge difference in my organization. And also, when you're talking to the hostess, make sure you talk about how to invite to a party, because we all know if they click that invite button, people don't see it or they ignore it. So I really emphasize, I'm going to send you words to use and a link to invite your guests personally. And that has made a difference also, because you can tell if they just invited them or if they asked to join the party. And it makes a
Yes, you
big
can.
difference. You can, because I've had hostesses who use that invite button for 100 people. And
Yeah.
nobody's coming when they do that.
That
So
sends the whole party into like Facebook's spam folder.
exactly. Exactly. So, having, that magic phone call where you talk about the hostess rewards and you talk about inviting is a game changer in people coming and people participating.
Yeah. So, all right. So going back to the magic phone call. So it's, hey, Mary, I definitely want to have a quick call about how we can have the best party. I can get you so much free jewelry. Do you have 10 minutes? And then you name 2 times soon that you have,
Right.
right?
Right.
Do you have a 10 minutes after 7 o'clock tonight or anytime around lunch tomorrow or whatever?
Whatever. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So then you call them up and is it about 10 minutes?
Yeah, it depends. When I talked to Lori, we probably talked for 20 minutes, but we were talking about all kinds of things. So it just depends. If they're chatty and want to talk, I feel like I'm going to be chatty whenever I want, as long as
Right.
it fits my time and hers, and again, it's them getting to know you beyond just being Park Lane.
Right, because if they feel like our friend, then they're going to make their friends feel that they are shopping with a friend as opposed to
Exactly.
just this random sales lady who's showing up out of
Exactly.
the blue.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
All right. So now, how about the time between the magic phone call and the actual live? How are you contacting the hostess and what's going in your notebook with regards to that?
Sure. So once the party is set up and we've had the magic phone call, then I send her a text message, hey, Lori, I'm so excited that you're booked your party on Sunday at 7 o'clock or whatever time it is. I am going to send you words to use to personally invite each guest. Please do not click on the invite button because people do not respond. A personal invitation is much better. Something along those lines. And I can share those words.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I'll share the words. Then I send her a second message with words to invite. Hi, and they put their guest name in, and I can't remember the exact words of that one. Something along the lines, Park Lane's new collection just came out, and I liked it so much, I decided to have a party. It's going to be in this group, the date and time. My stylist Sylvia is going to be coming on live to, feature the jewelry and the sale. And then I give her the link. And then at the end, she says, I hope you can join us. Sylvia will be doing a live, style tips, prizes, and fun. So that's a separate message. So one message just to the hostess telling her what to do, and then the message using the link for the party and words to invite people to the party. We don't want them sending, hey, I'm having a party. You don't have to buy anything. Do you want to come? Because a lot of people do that. So
Okay.
if you give them words to use, hopefully they're using them. And, of course, I always say, in the phone call too, I tell them I'm going to be sending this. If these aren't quite your words, feel free to change it up. But people like just copying and pasting.
Yes,
So,
they do.
yeah.
Yes, they do. And if they use text to do it, they're not going to have any trouble with going into Facebook jail or
Yes.
anything. So I always let
Yes.
them know, like, feel free to text this to people you have phone numbers for. And of
Yes.
course, use Facebook Messenger as well.
Right. Right. And,
Yeah.
change the name. Make sure you don't just leave hi in the blank line. If you want to have a name.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So now you see people are coming into the group.
Right.
How do you keep track of, because I'm sure you do some posts. Like we know that the party posts from the script we all use.
Right.
If the live is Thursday, the official posts really start Tuesday. She's
Right.
probably though inviting for a few days before that.
Right. Right.
So what are you doing or noting in your notebook in between that time? So she's
Right.
getting some people in there, but the party posts aren't quite started yet.
Right. So, I like to post the "What's your favorite metal" post that has the pictures going
Yes,
around.
the little
So I
vintage
like that to
sampler.
be, I post the welcome post,
Yeah.
and then I post the metal post. And as people are coming in, I write their names down. Sometimes I write their metal choice, not always. So their name gets written in my notebook. So that's usually day one. Day two, I'll post, I might post some this or that or something that's not necessarily part of Jeanette's official posts. And then, if people are commenting a lot, I'll write their name, next to their name, commenting a lot. So kind of keeping track of who's participating. And I really try to make sure I comment on every single post because we all know if they comment, you respond, they comment back, Facebook's going to show that post more.
Yep.
I'm also encouraging the hostess to comment on all the posts. And I always say to the hostess, your guests know you, they don't know me, they like seeing what you have to say. I also give the hostess some things to do, like the first day or the second day. Hey, can you go in there and post a picture of yourself and some of your Park Lane jewelry and thank people for joining?
Mhm. That's a
Before,
big one. That is
yes,
a big one.
yep.
And do you jot things down? Like, do you have a checklist that you're referring to make sure this gets done? Because I know Carolyn did provide a checklist similar to that. So how are you remembering to do that?
She did not. So I'm just using my head to remember it, but I think I am going to start incorporating her checklist just so I don't forget things. But no, I just kind of in my head say, okay, ask the hostess. I do have a Word document that I don't know where somebody put it together, day one of the party, day two of the party. It's all things so you can ask your hostess to do. Now, I don't do everything on there with every hostess, but generally every hostess I do ask to put up a post wearing jewelry. And if they're not someone who really likes taking selfies, I'm like, or post a picture of two of pieces that you have already that you like. Most of them are happy to post a selfie though. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So important to get that selfie post in there so their friends are seeing them. I also use in the beginning the Facebook post that you can do welcoming guests.
Yes.
So, I might have 4 or 5 of those on there, and I always say to the hostess, "Be sure to comment on those too and welcome your guests." So there are multiple welcome posts, and I usually use a GIF, a welcome gift, or if there are a whole bunch of them, I might put something and ask a question, kinda like how you do in Shine On and Party.
Yes.
So I'll ask a question again. I'm trying to get them to interact because when they don't interact, they don't see our group, and then they don't participate.
Right. That's correct.
Yes.
If you've never done that, what you do is from your computer, you just go to members. And when you click members, there's a little note on the right that says create welcome post. And when you click that, it automatically generates a post that says, let's welcome our new members. And it's got everybody tagged since the last welcome post.
Right.
So if 4 people join since your last welcome post, it'll do that, those 4 people. And then you can attach any photo you want. So it can be a picture from your phone, it can be a picture from your computer. It'll even, if you're on a Mac, it asks me, do I want to do a photo from my phone, even if I'm on the computer?
Which is so nice. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And I
yes.
just scroll to some recent picture I saved sometimes, and I'll say, which arm party do you like better? This one, or, comment under the
Right.
one you like better or whatever. So
Mhm.
yeah, the welcome post generated by Facebook does 2 things. Number one, it auto tags all of them. And remember, Facebook loves when we use their features. So
Mhm.
that's why they push that out because it's their feature being
Right.
used.
Right.
So it would be a great thing, Sylvia, for you to make a checklist of all of
Yes.
these things,
Yep.
just because when you have a checklist, it's something that we're able to share with the team and,
Yep.
for you to
Yep.
share with your team.
Yep.
Um,
I will do
and
that because
keeps
I
us
think it'll be helpful
consistent.
talking with you. There are things I'm doing that I didn't even think about till we were talking about these. So definitely I'm going to make a checklist, and I'll also share the hostess words that I use.
Love it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Yes. So
All right.
um
So now let's go to, we've done that for a couple of days
right.
and we're in the group. Now, before we do that though, let's say you've done those things and you see there's 4 people in the group and the party posts are about to start. What's your next step with a hostess that you're not seeing much action?
Right. So if I'm not seeing much action, of course, I'm going to reach out to the host. Sometimes I'll do a voice message in Facebook. Sometimes I'll, type it out. If it's something, short and you want to leave a voice message, I think that's nice too, because it is more personal again.
Mhm.
So hey, Lori, I noticed in your group there are only 4 people. Have you sent out other invitations? What are you hearing? Or, hey, we've got 10, 12 people in the group, but they're not talking. We need to get you in there and generating a little more conversation. Put up another post. Be sure
Right.
and comment. Tag some of your friends. Hey, Michelle, did you see that silver necklace that Sylvia posted? You've got to get in there and interact. And pretty much hostesses will do what you tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, because they want to have a successful party.
they do.
And most of them, I feel like so many hostesses are so worried about like, I don't want to waste your time. Like so many times
Right,
people will say that to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a fun thing. Don't be
right,
stressed. Like
right. Yep.
I'm not mad. I
No, I know.
definitely
Same thing. Same
I'm
thing.
I'm sure that you do this too. I always try to lead any kind of thing like that with a compliment. Like even if it's 4, it's like, "Hey, I see we have 4 guests in there. Excited to meet them.
Yes.
We definitely want to have a few more. Like say something nice before you're like, hey, 4 ain't gonna cut it.
If you want to get to 10, 4 is not going to get you there.
No.
And with those compliments too, another one I like to use is, oh, you're making my job so much easier. You could do what I do. Again,
Yes,
just to plant that booking seed, not booking, recruiting seed in there.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So now the party gets here, the posts are going. So we are now the official party posts start. So what kind of things are you doing and how is your notebook coming into play?
At that point, once the party posts are really going, unless I'm seeing someone really commenting a lot, I'm not putting anything in the notebook. I'm concentrating more now on making sure I'm replying to every single comment on every single post. And sometimes it's a lot and it takes time, but you know what? When you're watching TV at night, you can do it.
Mhm.
I sneak on during the day at work and comment. Thankfully, unless I'm in a meeting all day. Then, like yesterday, I was in a meeting most of the day, so I couldn't comment on anything. But if I'm sitting at my desk working, I do peek at Facebook. And if people are commenting, I comment back because that interaction is so important for the guests to see that, you're paying attention to what they're saying, you're responding. Post pictures. If someone says, oh, I like silver, then, I'll find a picture of these Echo earrings and say, hey, these are one of our top sellers. What do you think of these? Or I might ask them another question.
Yes.
Do you like dainty pieces or do you like bold pieces? So that way I know what kind of picture to post. So I'm trying to get the most interaction I can get with the guests. And sometimes it does work better than others. Some groups are more chatty than others. Some hostesses are more interactive than others. But I think the more you talk to the hostess, the more interactive she will be.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yes.
All right. And then now, do you do the check in to win at all and ask them to message you as the party's getting started?
I just started that with a party that I'm helping Karen do. So Karen is one of my new recruits. She has a party. Of it was a mutual. She was a customer of mine, but now that Karen's, I'm like, listen, how about you take her party and we'll do it together. So I started that check in on her party, but for people to text her, not me. But that is something I am going to incorporate is the check in to win post.
Yeah, the check-in to win is great because if they message you, if they choose to do it on Messenger, then when they send you the message on Messenger, it opens Messenger because if
Yes.
we're the first ones to send a message in Messenger, it goes to that like other folder, which some people don't know how to check.
Right.
Also, if the first thing we send is a message the day after the party that says, hey, thanks for joining Karen's show, here's the link to shop, Facebook will not activate that link because it's like a stranger sending a link. They
Right. They
will
don't
mark
like
it
that.
as spam. So even
Yes.
if they want it, people will respond back and say, hey, I can't open that link. And if you send it again, it magically works
Yep.
because they responded back to you. That's why getting them to message us first is so magical because it
It is.
opens up the messenger.
It is. It definitely is. So Karen, I set that up in Karen's, and people are messing.
Perfect. Ooh, I think you're okay. So we
Okay.
didn't know it. Oh, good. You
Yeah.
were frozen for a second there.
I saw. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So now the day of the party is here, and that you are kind of covered in the beginning where you're doing the live, and after the live, you're now adding notes in the book about who was actually on the live.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. So, and one more thing before the live, something else I've just started is I send the hostess a message that says, you're going to want to reach out to your guests to remind them that the live is tonight at 8 o'clock. And here is the link to the group to please send that to them again. Because in Facebook, we're all in a lot of groups and you can't remember the name of the group. Even if you've been interacting, it may not show up on your recent interactions. So I ask her to send a message reminding people that the live is at 8 o'clock, or they can watch the replay. And here's the link right to the party. And that's been getting more people on the live as well.
Love it.
So yes,
Love
yes.
that.
So send those messages to your hostess. Then the night of the live, I asked my hostess to keep track of who was on live
Okay.
because when we get to, and I do put up a post in the group. I think I've tweaked one of Jeanette's posts. We're looking for 10 people to.
Ah. Oh no, we lost Sylvia. All right, hopefully she comes back. All right, stay with us. I'm sure Sylvia will come back in a minute. So I know, right? Gotta love technology. So while Sylvia gets back in, I would love to hear in the comments a takeaway so far. What value have you heard so far that you're like, oh, I'm going to start doing that from what Sylvia has already shared? Go ahead and let us know in the comments because I know that she's making her way back in here. Um, so you're going to find that keeping this notebook really is going to make a huge difference in your business because when you are tracking this, it gives you direction of what you're going to do each day. I know that one of the things that Jen Ewert mentioned, and Jen, I know you're on here live, so go ahead and add to the comments. Jen bought are they like tab post-it notes, like post-it notes that are tabs? And when she sets up parties, she puts the tab of the hostess's name on the notebook so that she can easily turn to, oh, all right, Thursday is Mary's party. She can easily flip to Mary's party. And okay, I can easily flip to whoever's party. Jen, I'd be interested to know if once the party is closed, do you remove that tab so that you don't have 10,000 tabs on the right? Let us know about that. All right, I see that there's a question here. So Sylvia is more recruiter and that link to shop thing. Oh, and the Facebook not posting it was a shocker. Yeah, Rebecca, these are all the tips we learn. And honestly, Facebook changes things so frequently that sometimes things that are true today won't be true tomorrow. So you're going to see how We just try to keep up with what Facebook changes and allows and does as best they can. Yes, love that. Have the hostess keep attendance for her friends that are live on the party. When you give the hostess things to do, see, one of the things that is magical about that particular thing that Belinda's pointing out, is that she's going to want to report to you a good number, right? Because the hostess wants to be successful. So she's going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to come to her and say 2 people were on live. She's going to be hustling and saying, sending those reminders, making sure that people are going to be on, because they don't want to come on after the party and say, hi, Sylvia, 2 people were on. She wants them to be like, hey, Sylvia, I had 10 people on the live. I had 12 people on the live. They want to have a good party. They want to like please us. So that's what's so magical about having the hostess report her number. Right, Sylvia?
Yes, it is. And sorry, I don't know what happened. I got a new phone and it's been knocking me off the internet. So
That's
I
okay.
see what's
You're
going
back.
on. I'm back. I'm back. But yes, getting the hostess to be involved and keeping tabs on who's live is very important, especially when they know there's a prize involved. And as I said, that first party where there were 8 people live, I did the prize anyway because then a couple more people did watch it later. And again, it's getting that excitement, people knowing, oh, wow, this person is real. She's going to give us a prize just for joining the live. When they watch the live while you're on there, you can then, be answering questions, which is helpful as well. And another thing that I have the hostess do at the very end of the live, I have her put my cell phone number in the chat because I
Love
tell people to send me their wish list through text rather than Facebook if they prefer. Because and it's nice to have people's cell phone numbers
it.
too,
Sure is.
just because there are times when Facebook doesn't work. And if you have cell phone numbers that are already in your phone, I add them as a contact per PL customer and their name. And that way they're in my phone and I can interact with them that way as well too.
Yes.
Um, yes,
So much better to have phone numbers.
it is. It
And of
is.
course, once they order, we have phone numbers, but when they
Right.
text you first, it's easier to save it than to be loading those
Looking back and
phone
going
numbers in.
again, it's an extra step that you say. So,
Exactly.
but yes, yes.
So now
So,
that you have this list and the
right.
party is like the live is over, what have you, this really allows you to make sure that no stone goes unturned, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Oh no, she's frozen again. I know that that has been true for me. Oh, there she is.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
back. I'm back. I'm back. So in my notebook, they may already be in there, or I'm just adding them for the first time for the live. So again, I write, were they live? I write live next to their name. Did they send me a wish list? I put WL for a wish list. When they order, I put order. And if they book a party, I put book a party. And the other thing I'm going to add, and it's why I need a checklist, is did they join my VIP group? Because I'm really
Yes.
trying to get my guests in my VIP group. So those are the things you want. Were they on live? Did they send you a wish list? Did they order? Did they book? Are they thinking about joining? And or VIP group. So those are the 6 things that are like really critical to keep track of. Then if they've won a prize, I put the prize that they won. And then once I send the prize off, I put a check mark. That's my indication to me that I've mailed it. So, because
Perfect.
again, you've got to be able to keep tabs. And some of the pages I've had to write over because they got too messy. And that's okay too.
Turn the
Whatever.
page.
Turn the page. This one pages rip out very easily. So I rip it out and I start over again. Like it is a work in progress how you're going to track, but tracking just really will help you to stay organized, help you to know who's interacting, helping you with your communication with your hostess. And getting more bookings, getting more VIP members, and getting more team members. When you're organized, it's so much easier to do all the things that you need to do.
It really is. And our team is so good with trackers. We track trips, we track Mercedes, we track Rich Rewards. And somehow we were not tracking the
The
activity
most
at a
important
party.
thing,
And
right? Our
that's, I
parties.
mean,
They're
critical.
exactly, exactly. And you can also use it to track things with your VIP group. So
Yeah.
I did a pick a number and I use this book. Now, I do also keep spreadsheets just because that's the way I am. Every year I start a new spreadsheet and I keep a sheet that's where it Wednesday and, prizes. Then anything I do, if I do a pick a number, if I'm doing something for the Super Bowl, whatever it is, I have a tab in that Excel spreadsheet, and I do keep tabs of who it is, what they ordered, how they paid, and when I mailed it. Because again, it is so easy to get lost in the shuffle of things when you're busy. So now I'm kind of doing the combo of the notebook and the ordering, but I had never tracked parties. So I was tracking all those things in my VIP group, but I was not tracking
What
parties.
parties?
Yeah, I
So,
know.
I do think that party prizes are like the bane of many people's existence, including my
Hmm.
own.
Right.
So if you are like, if whoever's gonna win, you're winning a pair of Twizzler earrings. You put that aside somewhere, right? Because you've held it
Yes.
up, you're saying it's a raffle prize, you don't know who's getting it yet. Where do you physically put it next? Do you have a little basket? Do you have a little
No,
something?
no. I have a little table next to my desk. So I take that prize, I put it in a box, and I sit it on that table. Then once I know who won, I write down their name on a ticket and I put that ticket in the box until I mail it. So I usually put their name and the hostess's name, so that way I know who they went with. But
Right.
now that I have the notebook, that's not quite as crucial because
No, it's you're still here. Now we lost the sound. We lost your sound, yeah. But I know what I know what she was saying was that now that she has the things written in the notebook, she doesn't necessarily have to remember the ticket so much. But once that prize is put aside, you're not going to re-accidentally give it to somebody else. It's written in the notebook who gets it. I know one of the things that I've improved is one of these baskets here is my like outbound mailings, and that's where I keep the bubble envelopes. And I put that box right in the bubble envelope, right on the outside, what it's for. And then when it's time to award the prizes, it's already in an envelope. So love having any kinds of organization system, whether you shove it right into the envelope, but because a little card's got to go in there, right, Sylvia? That's why you write
yes,
the hostess's name.
yes,
But
yes,
like you said, if it's from the notebook, you actually don't even need that on the ticket anymore because it's going to say, Mary from Fran's party. This is her participation prize, and then
right,
you
right.
write up a little card that says, "Thanks for joining Mary's party, Fran. Here's your participation prize."
Right. Whatever you're putting in there, it just makes it really nice. And I just couldn't get over how much easier it was this morning doing prizes than it has been in the past because it is just hard to keep tabs on them. So,
Especially
yes,
when, like Sylvia, you work full time.
yes.
And go ahead and tell us in the comments who works full time and is inspired by the fact that Sylvia is running a business that she earns trips, that she recruits, that she has a Mercedes car plan bonus that she earns, and is somehow managing with one of the best VIP groups in all of Park Lane to remember these prizes, to do the shows, to help with the launch parties, and that all these prizes are going out on time regularly, and that she is killing it with the 10 order shows and the 10 order launches. So, are there any final questions that anyone wants to ask as we are wrapping it up here with Sylvia? And Sylvia, is there anything that we missed
I
or
think we
that you
pretty
want
much
to add?
covered it. I mean, just get a notebook and start. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
perfect. It's a work in progress. As I said, what I did with the first one in January till now, I am changing it up. I'll probably continue to change it up, but get that notebook and start writing down your parties. It is going to make a big difference in the ordering and everything else that goes with it. And just being more organized makes it easier to do your business.
Right, because
Organization
you
is
can
so
take
the
that
key.
notebook anywhere. You have
Exactly.
to sit somewhere, you
Right.
know you're gonna be waiting in a car pickup, you know that you're
Yep.
gonna be waiting for somebody, like, keep the notebook with you. Pick a smallish
Yes.
notebook.
Right, they don't fit in your purse. Well, when I went to Columbus a few weekends ago with my sister, and I took the notebook with me, and when I was in the hotel, I was writing things in it, so that way I still knew what was going on. I mean, our business is portable. If you have a phone, a notebook, and a pen, you can do Park Lane from anywhere. I mean, my husband laughs at me. He's like, "You spend more time on that phone than a teenager." I'm like, "Listen, I'm working."
Right.
So I may be on it, but I am working. And
And
my
he
idea
doesn't
is to
complain when he's on these Park Lane trips.
exactly, exactly. Or when we're going out to dinner or doing whatever it is and Park Lane's paying for it, you know?
That's right.
So
That's right, and we control it because I know the phone is not out when you're out to dinner because you're
no,
enjoying that time separately,
exactly,
and then you're
exactly,
doing the work at the times that work for you. So,
exactly. Yes,
love
yes.
it
Just
so much.
get that notebook, get organized. I will work on making a checklist and cleaning up my words that I use with the hostess to share with Michelle so she can put it in with the guide. But just try it. When I listen to Carolyn, I'm like, this makes sense. I need to do this. And it
I
really
love
is
it.
making a difference. Yes, yes. Use the tools that Michelle provides for us. We are such a lucky team between Michelle and Mary Grace. We are just so lucky that we have such awesome leaders and then leaders at my level who want to share too. So
Yes, of
yes,
course.
yes.
We really appreciate it. I know it's a Saturday morning, you have a million things to do, so thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
doing this
thank you.
today, Sylvia,
It was
and,
good for me too. Thank you, ladies.
yeah, and go ahead and put in the comments your number one action step the minute that you've finished watching this. Would love to hear what you are gonna be doing next. So, thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you. Happy weekend.
Bye.
Bye.